Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
State line area COVID-19 testing sites see long lines after the Christmas holiday. We'll explain how the state and Winnebago County are responding to the latest surge in cases. Plus, a child is hit while walking near his Durand school. Police hope this video will help track down the person responsible. And as we get ready to ring in the new year, the state prepares for some new laws to hit the books. We'll run down some of the latest changes coming to Illinois. Good evening. I'm Mimi Murphy. Eric Wilson is off tonight. Illinois health officials and the governor offer a dire warning about the latest surge in COVID-19. According to the state, nearly 10,000 new COVID cases were reported today. Friday, more than 21,000 were reported. That was a single-day record. Those numbers have dropped through the weekend, but hospitalizations in Illinois are up more than 11% since Thursday. To slow the spread, Illinois is more than doubling personnel and staffing at regional vaccination sites. As people continue to gather for the holidays, officials urge caution.
Single event being held during this holiday season will have one or two uninvited, unwanted guests, Delta and/or Omicron. One or both could be there.
I'm going to continue to do everything possible to protect all of the people of our state, whatever your vaccine status. But what kind of year 2022 turns out to be depends on all of us doing what is best for all of us.
Pritzker did not announce any new mitigation efforts. Local testing sites are seeing long lines as people get checked out after the Christmas holiday. Our Rachel Perry spoke with some of those getting tested. And Rachel, you also talked to a woman who got a positive test back and she's fully vaccinated?
That's right, Mimi. She's canceling her New Year's plans and quarantining. She tells me she's actually happy she got tested because she initially didn't think it was COVID.
I don't want to be in public spaces with someone who may not be vaccinated and spread it to them.
Catherine Cancemelli is fully vaccinated but positive for COVID-19.
So actually I didn't think it was COVID because I had gotten tested that week. I got tested 4 times that week just in case. And I was like, what's the chances that it didn't catch it on the first 4?
Test 5 came back positive. The CDC says vaccinated people who come in contact with those who test positive don't need to quarantine themselves as long as they don't show any signs of catching the virus and those people are vaccinated. Cancemelli says she'd rather be safe.
I had, a few game nights planned, New Year's Eve parties. So I'll have to have the countdown here on my couch or something.
Now dozens of Rockford residents are doing the same, lining up for a COVID test.
It's been like this all day. Since we opened at 8 a.m., we've been just barely where the main road is, and then we're even creeping into the turn lanes a little bit there.
Those long lines are prompting testing locations to expand services. Winnebago County site on Sandy Hollow Road will be open more days next week. Site manager Barry Chevalier says they're trying their best to meet the demand.
From the numbers at all of our other testing sites, they've tripled, if not quadrupled in the last couple of weeks. So we're really trying to push to keep them open as much as possible.
And just like Cancemelli did, he says being vaccinated isn't stopping people from getting tested.
I'm seeing a lot that have already shown a lot of vaccination cards that are just coming to get tested because they were with their families and everything. So, it makes sense.
I would say when in doubt, just get tested. It's free. It's easy. It's not pleasant, but it's only 2 seconds of discomfort.
Now the CDC says if you test positive, you'll need to go into isolation for 5 days. And if you are in close contact with someone who is positive, they recommend quarantining. Only people who got the booster shot can skip quarantine, but must wear a mask. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Rachel. Local police need help finding a driver who hit a boy and took off. This happened last Tuesday in Durand near West, South, and Fremont Streets. Investigators say the 10-year-old was in the crosswalk when he was struck. He was thrown into the air, landing in the grass. The child suffered a severe bruise to his leg, but survived. Police are looking for the car caught on security camera. It's a white Chrysler PT Cruiser. The vehicle has a sunroof and no front license plate. If you have any information, call Durand Police or the Winnebago County non-emergency line. 2022 is less than a week away, and a new year means new laws. Changes are coming to everything from the minimum wage to lemonade stands. Tamon Bradley has a look at some of the laws that may affect you.
To ring in the new year, Illinois' lowest wage workers are set to get a raise. The minimum wage is increasing to $12 per hour and will continue climbing until $15 per hour in 2025. In 2021, top athletes, including legendary gymnast Simone Biles, talked openly about prioritizing mental health. Beginning in the new year, Illinois students will be able to more easily do that. A new law takes effect, giving students up to 5 days off for mental health. Also new to Illinois schools in 2022, a law prohibiting rules regarding hairstyles, such as braids and twists. The measure is aimed at ending discrimination based on hairstyles. New for students next year, the ability to choose whether to submit their ACT or SAT score when applying to public institutions. New consumer protection laws will be on the books. When a loved one dies, survivors are sometimes burdened with cancellation fees from utilities. No more. Starting January 1st, phone, television, and internet providers are prohibited from charging a fee for early cancellation of a service contract. Lemonade! Children's lemonade stands are getting new protections. Haley's Law ensures children under 16 can run a lemonade stand without a permit or license. Firearms owners in the state should brace for changes. Fingerprinting for firearms is encouraged, although it is not required. State police can begin issuing a combined FOID card and concealed carry license as they establish a public database aimed at preventing the transfer of stolen firearms. And for the surviving spouse or parent of a U.S. service member killed in a war, free Gold Star license plates will be available. These specialty Illinois plates used to cost $151.
And these are just some of the laws going into effect in the new year. You can find more by going to mystateline.com. The city of Chicago is unveiling plans for a grand New Year's fireworks display. At midnight, fireworks will go off across 8 separate launch sites along the Chicago River and Lake Michigan near Navy Pier. The fireworks will be choreographed to a special music soundtrack. The city encourages people to watch the fireworks from the safety of their home. Last year, the city called off the fireworks due to COVID. Residents say they're ready to celebrate safely.
I know that people have been home for a long time and they really want some sort of activities and fun stuff, but I think being safe is really important.
Officials promise it's going to be the largest fireworks display ever in Chicago. Preps are also underway in Times Square for the traditional New Year's Eve ball drop. Today, workers installed 192 new sparkling Waterford crystal triangles into the massive ball. This year's design features the gift of wisdom. It's represented by a central wheel with wedge-cut petals of knowledge. Celebrations will be scaled back in Times Square due to the surge in the coronavirus. But millions of people will still be watching worldwide as the New Year's Eve ball begins its descent at 11:59 Friday. It will now cost you more to apply for or renew your passport. Starting today, the U.S. passport fee jumped by $20. That's about $165 for a first-time or replacement passport. Renewals cost $130. Passports for travelers under 16 are $135. The U.S. State Department says the fee increase is, quote, necessary to ensure we continue to produce one of the most secure travel and identify documents in the world. Rare snowfall impacts people up and down the West Coast. Thousands of homes and businesses lost power in California, Washington, and Oregon. As much as 30 inches of snow fell in some parts of the Sierras. Meanwhile, whiteout conditions forced the closure of several key highways in the mountains of Northern California and Nevada. In Oregon, kids played as crews worked, and people say snow and its problems are expected.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I figure this is just the first of many. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty heavy snow, and it's not going to stop very soon.
I think, yeah, we were expecting it. I've been plowing since 4 this morning. It was bound to happen eventually with all the weight of the snow. I don't think we were expecting quite this much.
Forecasters say travel in the Sierra Nevadas could remain difficult for several days as winter storm warnings continue.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, after a pretty active night last night with hail, thunder, rain, snow, and sleet all coming down, things were much more quiet out there today. We started off with some pretty dense fog, though. We were able to clear out, and just in time for the sun to set, you see still a little glimpse of that on the horizon. Cloud cover thinning out just a bit here this evening. A live look with a Mercial SkyTrack camera now out in Rochelle looking off to the northwest. The cloud cover, whatever clears out, comes right back in, unfortunately, all ahead of our next storm system. A pretty active jet stream that'll carry us here through the end of the week, end of the year, and kind of keep our weather pattern pretty active with storm systems moving through pretty much every other day. Had one come in last night. We've got another one coming in here for tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. Next one then comes in on Wednesday, and we've got another one that bears some watching heading into the new year, Saturday itself. This one too could bring more accumulating snow. Just depends on the track of that. But let's take it one at a time. First one comes in for tomorrow. Yeah, we've had a little bit of snow come down this season, but this will be the first one that actually really accumulates, and for some could accumulate to at least a few inches by the time it's all said and done. Winter weather advisory goes into effect. Northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin. This begins at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning and will take us through tomorrow evening. So let's plan this out. No issues there for us tonight. A little bit of clearing that we do see. Temperatures will drop back into the 20s, but then rise a bit as we head into the morning hours tomorrow. Sunrise, we are dry but cloudy. I think once we get to about 9, 10 o'clock, we'll start to see that snow begin to blossom and lift up from south to north mid to late morning. So you're out the door by 7 o'clock. I don't think you're going to have too many issues there on the roads. You're out more mid to late morning and through the afternoon. Well, that's where we could run into some problems as we'll see that snow kind of pick up a little more. That'll carry us into at least the noon hour. Notice here by the time we get to 11, 12 o'clock, we're starting to see a little bit more steady snow that takes us through noon and then early afternoon. Now we have to watch our temperatures down to the south because there is a warm air component to this storm system. As that moisture and warmth begins to work in, we'll see a little bit of a transition over for some, not for all, where we could have maybe a change over to some lighter rain or at least a rain-snow mix, or maybe even some sleet for a time right along Highway 72 and then to the south once we get into the afternoon. I think areas to the north of that and along the state line, southern Wisconsin, you've got a better chance to hold on to some of that snowfall as we go into mid to late afternoon. So your afternoon evening commute, a little more of an impact there. By 6, 7 o'clock, this begins to wind down. We'll get some drizzle on the backside, clear out a little bit here as we head towards Wednesday. Wednesday evening, we've got another system that comes in. This will bring some lighter snow, very, very minor in the accumulation department with that. So let's time this out here. As I mentioned, early morning on Tuesday, we're okay. Once we hit about 9 o'clock, 9, 10 o'clock, that's when we'll start to see that snow pick up. You've got the most impactful time there between roughly about 11 and 3, 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon before we start to see things taper off and our temperatures will be warming up above freezing. So let's put some numbers to this. Generally about 1 to 3 inches of snow coming down. You might be closer to that 1 to 2 inch mark once you get south of Rockford. Right around 2, maybe 3 inches. I think 2 inches, 2.5 inches, a good bet here for us in northern Illinois. And then 2.5, 3 inches there once you get closer to the state line. Temperatures right now are in the 30s at 37 in Rockford, 34 in Freeport, 36 for our weather watcher Ken here in Belvedere. Also the same temperature for our weather watcher Bob on the southeast end of Rockford. 25, that's where we end up here tonight, but that temperature will climb. We're only in the mid-30s tomorrow, so we don't see a lot of warmth. Number goes down then on Wednesday. Thursday, we're in the upper 20s. Friday, we are dry as we round out maybe the year. Beginning the new year, though, that's the system we have to watch. And look at those 20s there at the end of that 7-day.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with David Greenberg.
Well, usually when you wake up the Monday after your team wins a one-point game in the final seconds, it's supposed to be the start to a great week. But I can't say that's the case for the Bears. In fact, yesterday's win over the Seahawks raised even more questions about this front office. My biggest takeaway was, why did the Bears sign Andy Dalton this offseason? If anything, and it was made perfectly clear yesterday, Nick Foles is completely capable of starting at quarterback in the NFL. He may not be the guy to lead a Super Bowl contending team, but let's be real. The Bears were never that team going into the season. What was the point of signing Dalton to a one-year, $10 million deal, naming him the starter from the moment he put pen to paper when you had a quarterback with at least as high a ceiling, if not higher, in Foles? But that's not where the incompetence ends. After signing Dalton and already paying Nick Foles, you go out and draft another quarterback? It just doesn't make sense. So here's what I think they should do going into this offseason. First and foremost, you've got to fire Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace. I feel for Nagy because he's ultimately the one thrown under the bus for the disaster that is this Bears organization. But as head coach, sometimes that's the pill you have to swallow. As for Ryan Pace, if he's back next year, it'll be year number 8 with the Bears. In that time, he's sold off a ton of future draft capital, put the team in a terrible cap situation, and gone 47-64 with not a single playoff win to show for it. The next thing you have to do is move Ted Phillips to a new project. The McCaskies are all about loyalty, so they'll never fire him, but if they're smart, they'll take him away from any football operations. The next step is obviously to hire a person to replace Phillips and then let that person find the replacements for Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace. As for if the Bears will fire Nagy before season's end, my answer to that would be in the team's 101-year history, they have never fired a coach mid-season, and if they haven't done it yet, I don't think they'll start now. Tune back in at 6. I'll tell you why they could be getting a head start on finding his replacement.
The First Warn Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. Nice and quiet here for us tonight. Cloud cover comes back in. We've got some snow that moves in mid to late morning tomorrow. That'll stay fairly steady through the afternoon, and there are going to be some slushy accumulations on the roadways. So heading out tomorrow, just keep that in mind. It'll slow you down a little bit for that afternoon and evening commute. Temperatures tomorrow in the 30s, 30 degrees on Wednesday. Watching another system here as we go into the new year.
All right, thanks, Candace, and thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again at 6.